The first project for the semester was designing a outside place in a quarry north of Boston in Rockport. We have gone to the quarry, and the students were asked to find a place in the quarry that they liked, photograph it, sketch it, understand it, bring it back to the studio, and then design a classroom for themselves and me that was sheltered, not enclosed, but the idea was making a place in the quarry that was neither natural or was it to appear to be built. It was to fit into the context of the quarry. They were welcome to use any materials that they thought would relate to the quarry. When they came back from the quarry, I then asked them to do their first design and their first ideas of the quarry. So what you're about to see is the very first pinup of the semester of this very first project.
So what I saw that was the best thing about this site was how nature is really it's got a logic to it, and every gap and everything that is there is filled in some ways. There's nothing lost, there's nothing wasted. Everything sort of belongs in that sort of net of things. And so when I decided that my site would be right here, where all the seagulls were, I figured that the seagulls would know better than me what the best place was, since nature has that logic, so the animals do too. And while sitting there, I realized the things that they liked about the site. But if you notice, it's got a lot of, it basically is a cliff sort of cutout. And what I'm trying to do is fill that space as nature does, just have that space filled in. And this is what the site looks like now. There's the seagulls. And then this is what I'm hoping to do, is to sort of fill that. To just make it look like how it used to be, how I imagine it to have been before, when nature was already present in here, and man didn't really change it. And I like the idea of just things that fill in those gaps. Here it shows just how even the grass and the ground and the soil evens out all the rocks, even though they're jagged. So evening things out. Here's the site, hoping that I'll just even that out in a way. Also, while I was sitting there, I listened to the seagulls, and they were a little bit annoying at times, but just the sound of the water splashing, the sound of them just flying around, the wind rustling of all the plants and things, that was also part of the experience. And I'm hoping to coexist with the seagulls. I don't want to. This is the site, looking at it southward. Seagulls living here. I saw this small sort of space here as a private area, also in here as a private area, and then this bigger space as the common place. I'm looking at the studio as more of a dynamic place rather than all of us having our desks. This is my idea, is adding a stone wall to the side so that it blends. And I'm very literal about, I just imagine these trees just growing out of those gaps in the rocks and making a canopy and intertwining in the top. And sort of like how when we entered the space, we came in this like tunnel of just like canopy of plants. That's sort of what I want to do, that web of plants. And people sitting around with their drawing boards on their laps, moving around, going down here to look out. That's the idea. Here is my model. I was thinking of stairways on the side and then going all the way down. But adding steps from one space to the other. But it could be.
What did you just take away?
These are the steps.
Oh, okay.
Well, I could take out all the pieces that have these want to disturb the environment. I feel like I want to use what's already there, that sort of the space is telling me this is useful, you know, use me as such. This is a sitting area. That is a drawing board, this is a drawing board. I don't want, I feel like I can just work with what I have, fill that space in, and not disturb anyone. None of the animals nor the plant life.
Yeah. Can you just talk a little bit about that? Because it's quite different. It looks quite different than your sketch.
Okay, well, this is sort of the abstract version of the sketch. Since the spot that I picked is going to be very sunny, I wanted to take advantage of that. So I want something that will be clear, but also create some shadow, some movement to, and in some ways I'm trying to use this as a tunnel on this side, and maybe up here, sort of the curvature of the roof so that it traps light in and it brings it into the space, and it might bounce off from the top and go down into the studio. But I just imagine it just growing out of the ground and just covering it up again.
It's a very, very good start. And then that gives me a license to be negative, you see, now that I've done that. So, I'm really impressed also how quickly we have understood the quarry and the subtleties of the observations that you've made. I think the idea of coexisting with the seagulls is wonderful. I don't know how you do that, and if you can do that. But I have to tell you a story. I have a little summer house where I was, in which two young deer have decided it was their house. And I was there, and they were there, and they were sort of wondering why I was there, because they're there more than I'm there. And we became friends over a couple of days. The two fawns, they're that size, dogs. And you said the word, and I said coexist. I figured we could live together. So the sensitivity towards the seagulls, which might have more problems than the deer, I don't know, in certain ways, is wonderful. And how you do that, I don't know. This one is very interesting to me, again, from the observation of the seagull place. I think you're right. I think the seagulls know something. Like they know more than we know. They've been around there more. I don't know, again, how happy they're going to be about you moving in, but they'll let you know, I think, if they're not. But I think it's a very good observation that this is a natural kind of place that you might be somehow. The translation of that into what you say, which is the case with all of us in the beginning as architects, and what we do is different. And that's our job. That's what this is all about. To try to get the head down to the body, out to the hands, and into this, what it is we need. And we're not going to get it right. And I've been at it for a few years longer than you have, and you'll see when I show you my own work that I don't get it right either. None of us do. I would like to challenge and question whether, in this case, the notion of this cover need to be as organic as what you're suggesting here. Because when I see, when I saw this, there is something already very elegant about the abstraction of this cover against the quarry. People see that? It's quite beautiful. I was sitting over there looking at it. And the curved forms and the way that you have started to address the solid is quite wonderful. More wonderful in my mind than what's in your mind, which is this. And this is a takeoff. I mean, this is the beginning. But whether you correctly translate the architectural form from this great problem is not clear to me. There could be another form. As an example, these could be even more sails, might move around, flutter, canvas, different materials. But it's very, very powerful, the form making of this related to the qualities of underneath. I also think in this one it's very exciting that she has made some changes on it, added to it, but we've reinforced place. So you are, what I would say, very contextual. You've taken what's there, followed the clue of the seagulls, tried to improve it. Good start, but you're only halfway there in terms of the architectural form. But you're a good halfway there, in the sense that you're relating this to the nature, to the quarry, this to the sky. I think this is horrible.
I agree.
It's like a fire escape coming down, the second means of egress, which is not what architecture is. This is a little bit better, but still could be a little bit more subtle. I don't know where I'm talking. You had me the other day here. I don't want to be there. Thank you. I'll be someplace else. So be careful about suggesting where the classroom is in terms of the direction, because professors may not want to be where you want them to be. But good start.